Assalamu alaikum on this beautiful day and welcome to An Nur the Light. I'm sure many of you are busy soaking the fish in its pickle because Easter is upon us. We start off this week's program in Cape Town with a dynamic young woman whose service to the community is at the top of her priorities.
Roslyn is a woman on a mission. She currently heads Islamic Relief's Fund Development and Communications portfolio, where she's hard at work doing the organization's bidding. While relatively young, she's also making her mark with social justice high on her agenda.
Islamic Relief, what attracted me mostly was just how they thought about what they do. So every program that they engage in, every conversation that they have, everything that they think about is deeply rooted in an Islamic perspective. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I had a strategy workshop with our team to actually discuss just how sort of the Sunnah inspires the programs that we engage in. And for a lot of people, I think we don't always realize just how deep our history is and just how deep the solutions we actually have to the world. So for example, when we respond to an emergency situation, it's about protecting the life of people, and protecting the life and dignity of the people is actually, it's deeply rooted in Islamic literature, but it's also a pillar within Islamic Relief. And so that for me is an inspiring element. I think it's probably unparalleled within the NGO sector.
She's very assertive. Okay? She knows what she wants. She's very strong. She's confident. She sets the bar very high for work to be completed. She believes that everything that you do should be done with personal excellence. She's also the type of manager that pushes you beyond what you imagine is your boundaries. She always sees potential in people where others don't.
At only 21 years of age, Roslyn traveled to the USA working as an intern in Washington, D.C. She credits this time with making her see the world and her own life in a very different way.
When I went to the US the first time, I interned with Congressman Lacey Clay on Capitol Hill. And it was something completely different for me. I was young, I was 21 at the time. I was forced into a comfort zone where everybody around me had PhDs or masters. And immediately it resonated with me that I needed to be better than what I was at that moment. So when I came back, I think it just exposed me to just what a person could be when you venture out of your comfort zone.
As funding for organizations dry up internationally, new avenues have to be explored. Roslyn constantly has to come up with innovative ways to do this. The Saturday morning cupcake drive is one such venture.
Well, the cake sales and a lot of the events that we do hold or host at Islamic Relief, most of them are actually volunteer driven. So the idea with it is really to get the community involved in providing a solution to some of the issues that we're tackling. So this specific cake sale is in aid of our fundraising for the oncology unit at the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital. I think there's a place for it in the fundraising market, but I think consistently we have to be innovative in asking people, because everybody is asking for something, and in this way what we're actually doing is we're giving somebody something for doing good. So by buying a cake, by participating in a hike, by coming to a show, they're getting something out of the deal, and in the same way it actually contributes to doing something good. And that's really the thinking behind how we want our fundraising department to be structured.
After witnessing firsthand the challenges young women face in getting sanitary towels, she launched a campaign to make a difference.
When Roslyn visited the Eastern Cape, I know that there was a It was shocking, the conditions of the sanitary conditions. But then we sat one day and we were talking about, I mean, people don't have access to proper sanitation, then obviously they don't have access to something that we take for granted, like a sanitary towel. So we started researching and we found that people were using sand and leaves, and Roslyn, being Roslyn, said, you know what, we can't just sit and do nothing. We need to act. We need to act now. So that was the birth of the sanitary towel campaign.
Statistics tell us that there are thousands upon thousands of children that stay out of school every month because they don't have sanitary products, and so then stay out of school. And if you add that up, a week every month, that's almost 3 months for the year. And that just puts a girl child on the back foot. So for us, it's fundamentally important, one, to partner with schools, but two, to partner with schools in such a way that we enable the child to be in school all year round. And so that's really the purpose of the campaign.
Roslyn continues to push her social justice agenda and in so doing improves the lives of those less fortunate. This is a young woman who lives her Islam in all aspects of her life, but especially in the work she does. Her path to transform lives moves onwards and upwards, with the beneficiaries being the most vulnerable. A bright future awaits a bright and dedicated woman.
Roslyn Fransman is already an ambassador at such a young age, and many of us can take a feather from her cap in helping others. Next up is our street style segment.
Style is like living every day with your image, with your personality. It's how you see yourself. It's an extension of what you feel inside and how the way that you show it to the world.
Well, modest wear has been in the spotlight lately. Rolling your pants, for example. That's become a fashion trend. This is significant as it allows me to keep up with the evident trends as well as adhere to the sunnah.
Fashion and style to me means being comfortable in your own skin while you are actually covered. As a Muslim woman, I am always covered.
I'm wearing something that is unusual, not a lot of Muslim women they can wear. It's a tight leather with a long dress with a leather jacket with a fashionable scarf.
Well, it's just my daily style. I like to keep some formal and add some casual to it. So I have my sneakers on and I love wearing shirts and my leather jacket.
It's a very comfortable dress because it's not really too tight. You can wear it in any size and shape that you are in. The scarf, I did it myself. It's just did a turban, just a quick turban now, just to match the colors of the dress.
Accessories is a very important part. I'm wearing a black earring, a long one, and of course my wedding ring. I choose my outfit to fit this wedding ring because it's very precious for me.
Islam plays a major role in choosing my style because I didn't used to think of Islam when I chose clothes. But as time progressed, I became more aware of Islam and the significance of modest wear and how you can incorporate it into your daily life.
As Muslim women, everywhere we go, we are being stared at and people think that we look weird or aren't we hot in this because it's too hot now. But now, no, I'd rather be looked at in that way because I'm actually covered than actually be looked at when I'm naked and I'm not comfortable with that or being in tight clothes.
I just put these colors together so that I can just have a mix of colors that fits my skin tone.
What I feel like for the day will determine what I wear for that day. So if I feel funky, then I'll wear something funky. If I feel really casual for that day, then I'll just wear something really casual.
I like wearing dresses. It's more comfortable. I just like being comfortable most of the time because I'm a very laid-back person.
Hijab fashion has definitely placed a spotlight on young Muslims, who in turn have risen to the challenge. These sisters and brothers are our own style ambassadors, and they make it all look good. Our topic for this week looks at graduate doctors fulfilling their community service.
In 1998, the Department of Health introduced compulsory community service for graduating doctors. This helped alleviate the need for medical doctors in communities where it was most needed. The only drawback has been that doctors don't get to choose where they go.
It was difficult because before I had to start internship, I actually got married. So it was actually difficult for my family because not only did I now leave the house, I was going to move to another province entirely. And then obviously it now was a mission for us to pack all our things, and then we had to drive down, get our things driven down as well. And like I said, when we moved here, we didn't know where we were going to stay, so we had to keep our things in holding until we found a place and things like that. So it was a difficult process at that time, yeah. It's difficult because obviously myself and everyone else would like to stay in the province that they want to be in or go to a province which they prefer to be in. But I do understand that obviously there aren't enough places for everyone to be in the most popular areas at the same time. So it's a difficult one. I understand, but I obviously wish that I could be back home.
Tahira had just got married when she was informed that her posting was to Durban. This obviously put some pressure on the couple, and there were choices to be made.
It was difficult for him as well because he had to quit his job and then came here. He didn't have a job at all, and then it took him a few months before he could find a new one. But now that he's settled, alhamdulillah, it's been okay. It's just difficult because of my hours that I work, obviously. I'm either on call or then when I'm post call, I'm extremely tired, but the time that we do have together, we enjoy.
In the beginning, it was very difficult. Obviously, having something secure and to just leave it and come without any offer in Durban. I just had faith in the Almighty, and I knew that that was the right decision. And I knew that something will come up in Durban eventually. And I mean, it took 2 months and then I started working again. So it was quite an easy transition. We wanted to get married at the end of the year. So, and if she had to move, I was just going to move with her no matter what.
Mohammed Sheikh, on the other hand, is doing his medical studies in Cape Town. He hails from Escort in KwaZulu-Natal and has made the city his home for the past 3 years. This will hopefully prepare him better for when it's time to do his community service.
So, firstly, where I come from is a town called Escort in KZN Midlands. And it's somewhat semi-rural and a little bit of urbanization here and there. So I think I grew up with the smell of coffee and the aroma of coffee, spraying through the whole area, as well as on the odd occasion of cow dung and so forth. And I think that was the beautiful, nurturing life that I did have. So the thought or the prospect of just moving to Cape Town itself was a bit daunting initially. But I think there were a lot of support structures that I did have in place to make my adjustments and make my move much more easier. So in terms of the adjustments, I think the first for any healthcare practitioner, which is a common practice to be shunted away or pushed away into any part of the country, is the concept of family. A lot of times we are very close-knit to our family members, immediate and extended, and to move extremely far away from them, it loses the sense of belonging. There becomes a sense of emotional degradation at times, especially due to the extreme course of medicine and the work of doctors. So family is the first adjustment that I had to make.
Like Mohammed, Tahira has also had to fit in and create a life outside of her known environment.
Friends, no, there's good friends at work. But we don't really socialize much on weekends. I think it's because of our times. So you're at work, you're working, then this one's on call, this one's post call, and then the little time that you have, or if you really want to spend with your family.
Adjusting to a new city has its challenges, but as these young professionals show, it's being done.
a few years ago, they were actually interning for prospective speakers as well as radio presenters, producers, co-hosts, etc. And I think I've been nurtured into public speaking since I can remember, since a teenager or probably early in my later childhood. So this was something natural that did come into me, and I thought that let's give it a try at somewhat, at media, at presenting. And I think the first program that I did at the Voice of the Cape was a program called Born to Serve. So it's basically featuring leaders in our community that are making a difference and tapping them behind the scenes. Personally, it's helped me grow a lot in terms of, just being a more relaxing nature. Some people love sitting at the beach and, absorbing the sea waves. Some people love hiking. I like talking.
Being forced, out of your comfort zone, it just forces you to adapt. So Durban has taught me that, and it also taught me that there's so much more to South Africa than Cape Town. Everyone says, oh, Cape Town is the most beautiful city, that's where you want to be. But Durban is really nice on its own, so I'm actually glad in the end that I moved here. Yeah.
While there was pushback initially from doctors about their community service, one thing must be borne in mind. The benefits to both doctors and the community are immeasurable. They get to help the most needy and in return increase their knowledge as well as skill in dealing with sick patients. The future for both looks bright.
As you can see, it's not easy to give up your familiar surroundings and trek to another province, but there are many patients who greatly value the service they receive. It's time now for our books, tech and app segment.
Unleash the Power of Almighty Allah Within You is an inspiring book written by Ismail Kala that will lift your spirits as it navigates how Islam can help one cope with the modern world. From the power of Salah to Islamic history, the author explains the Islamic way of life and how it really benefits mankind. Bringing Allah into every aspect of one's life truly is the secret to happiness and success. And this read is one you do not want to miss. Written in English that is easy to understand, this book is easy enough for any reader to gain insight into the Islamic way of life. This week's technology is the Eva Smart Shower, which is built to save water. Eva is attached between the wall and shower head, and it senses your proximity to the shower head, thus adjusting your water flow based on what you are doing in the shower. It cuts off the water flow once you have reached the desired temperature. Also use it to time your showers, monitor your water usage, and build a better relationship with the important life source that is water. Prophet Stories is an application that allows you to stay connected to the Hadith throughout the week. Have a question about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or Islam? Simply go on your app and search it. Read up on the life of the Prophet and be enriched by his teachings throughout the day.
I'm sure you've noticed Lemise has definitely been cooking some lekker meals, and I for one can't wait to see what's cooking.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Lemise, and as we all know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And if you're anything like me, I've got 3 boys, all of them at school-going age, and breakfast is a nightmare. You can't get them up, you can't get them dressed, and it's a nightmare to get them to school on time. So I've come up with a solution that works for me. A super healthy smoothie breakfast on the go, which means grab your mug and drink it in the car. So the ingredients that you need to make my super smoothie are the following. I've got some peanut butter, You can use the smooth or crunchy version, depending on your preference. I've got some cooked jungle oats. These are the instant jungle oats because as moms we get lazy too. And you could use the flavored varieties like your apple and cinnamon. You get delicious strawberry and yogurt, or you could use the plain one and then sweeten it up with some honey. And here's another tip for honey. Did you know that if you eat the honey from your local area, it will protect you against bee stings? And then I've got some bananas. I've got strawberries. I've got double cream yogurt to make sure you get that natural healthy fats to get them through the day. And then I've just got some full cream milk to thin it out so it's easy for them to glug down. And all you need to do is literally pour all of these into your blender and get your smoothie going. I'm going to add about, I normally just weigh, so I'm going to tell you about 6 tablespoons, so this would be enough for 2 smoothies. A nice wad of the peanut butter. This is the smooth peanut butter. I must admit that the crunchy is my favorite. And making your own peanut butter is really not that hard either. Then I've got, for each child, half a cup of cooked jungle oats and 2 bananas. And just to make sure that it's drinkable and easy to blend, about a cup of milk. And that's it. Breakfast is done. So now that we know they've got their fruit supply for the day, they've had their dairy, just check that it's thin enough, and I'd like that just a little bit thinner. And this is the part where I normally stick these into, you know those glasses that you can hold in the car that come with a beautiful cup holder and the lid, so you don't have to clean the car afterwards. And that's peanut and banana smoothie on the go. So I'm gonna give this a quick rinse and show you how to do strawberry. So the second smoothie I'm gonna be making is a strawberry flavored, just a dollop of honey for extra sweetness. So in goes again 6 tablespoons of double cream yogurt. I've got about a cup of strawberries. And again, half a cup of cooked jungle oats. And to that, I'm gonna add just a squeeze of local honey. Making sure I don't use any refined sugars. And again, some milk. And all we have to do now is zap, and it's good to go. And that's it. Strawberry smoothie done. So all that's left for you to do is get the kids to school on time. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
I'm really jealous of the crew who gets to film and taste Lamisa's cooking. I think I need to sneak onto their next shoot soon. It's time, however, to love and leave you. To those commemorating Easter, we wish you a peaceful time and go easy on those marshmallow eggs. From Imara Mukwanda, Salangantle, Assalamu alaikum.